Ladies and jelly spoons. There we go. All right. Check teeth. I'm in AC. Or AC. I'm in a Legacy GT with no AC. On a hot day. It's gonna be a good time. Right now, though, it's a brand new build, brand new everything. Just gotta work on the BE table, make sure it's good. Do some casual stuff. Oh, good phone. Make it so it is good for break-in. Uh, so I'll do like some low boost pulls on it, not to red line it like that. Just a little bit because we want to make sure that the guy is able to get out of the way of something. If there's a impending accident, some dude goes through a stop sign and his engine's limited at 4,000 RPM and no throttle, and it's like and gets smashed. Well, then I might be somewhat at fault for that. So we don't want that, but I don't want to give them enough power to blow all their stuff up, but I also don't want to short them enough that they can't, do what they need to do. And in the end, it's their car, it's their responsibility. They got to treat it right. Still, though, I want to do the best I can to make it as safe as I can. So that's what we're doing today. So the first thing is I've already done a bunch of startup stuff. As you saw, it starts right up. I've done idle control. I've done a bunch of that. So if I go to the auto control table here, tab, engine function. So idle control is an engine function. And look at some of the settings here. Closed loop, of course, that's what we want. What's this one? Oh, that was earlier. Do that. Fix that. What's this one? Oh, yeah, whatever. Get my face. Out of my face. All right. So idle torque is 950. You can see we're just hovering nicely right around that spot. 25 RPM-ish up and down. And that's good to go. Do a rev on it. A little bit of a waiver right there. That could be this right here. Let's turn this down some and see if that makes it at all. Oh, a little better. I don't need a whole lot of decel offset on this because my base map is higher than the. So you see that. You see how it went right to the eye. I actually went below it a little bit. So utilizing this to help out with that dip is helpful. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know if my mic is working correctly or not right now. But you see here my base out is 29 and currently I'm at 23. So this is doing a similar effect because when you rev it, it comes down to the base plus whatever other corrections it's adding on top of it. So the 1% for the decel offset, plus if the fans are running, whatever, that bunch of stuff. So then it short terms down and pulls the duty cycle down to get the idle control where we need to be. Now, I like this because it doesn't hang too much. That little rev that we got there, that's not a big deal. That's only a few hundred RPM, and well, it's better than dying. Let's just get that out there. It's better than the car stalling on itself. So I'm not upset with that at all. But you can adjust your PID control if you want. There's no derivative on here, which is common. Typically, if you put derivative into an auto control system, you can induce oscillations with it. Not always, but sometimes you'll just have these areas where it oscillates a lot. Seems to be behaving so far. Let's do it again. Did all right, actually. Often you can see you get oscillations, or when loads kick on like AC or something, you might be able to get an oscillation there too. Now this one, you see the integral is quite high and the proportional is quite low. Uh, that's, I guess it's just a matter of preference. You can do this. It'll more aggressively seek the target, or seek to get within an error of the target. And we're not getting a whole lot out of it right now, are we? Let's do a big change. See if I can show you guys if it's too much. A little oscillation. Let's do some more. It's actually not terrible working with all this stuff. Basically, though, what you do, let me show you. I'll show you. A good PID strategy is you start with zeros. You start with zeros, and you set the proportional to a high enough value to where eventually you start getting an oscillation. Now, we actually have a short-term and a long-term trim enabled right now, which I should probably clear the long-term out just so we can get closer to getting that oscillation. We see right now we got a little bit of an oscillation. It's working around the target some. Right there, you see that? And there's always a bit of an error on one side or the other. Either it's going to be high or low. On this one, I would anticipate that it's high because the base is high, right? So if our base is already high and the idle's high, you see now we're not driving down to our idle target, because the closer we get to the target, the proportional turns to zero. And if the proportional is zero, then it won't drive down. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So now what you do is you add a little more error, or a little more authority, and just get a little more oscillation. There you go. We definitely have an oscillation now. And then what you do is you throw a derivative at it to try and knock down the oscillation. So take some derivative and we'll throw, probably way too much, but we'll go like this. There you go. Typically around 10% of the proportional is a good starting point. This is more than that because we were at what, 5 or something. This is more, but you can see already the oscillation has gone down some. It's not waving as far. That's because as the RPM moves away from the target, the derivative is going to pull down duty, and as it moves towards it, it's going to add duty. So it's going to kind of try and work to stabilize the signal. In fact, if you look, it's actually really stable from 60-something to 80-something, pretty consistent right there. We'll give it a rev and see what happens. If you look down, though, you see the idle out is fluctuating a lot, right? Sometimes the throttle plate's moving back and forth a bit. And that's because the derivative is trying to catch movements, and the proportional is just responding to the instantaneous error. If we add integral at this point, what we'll see is it'll build up and push us down to our target, way closer to the 950. There we go. So now we're in the 940s, 950. So we're down to our target now. And combined with the other changes we made, we have pretty stable idle, like a very little oscillation. And overall, it's pretty steady. We do have a little bit of a dip there. And that dip can be caused by too much proportional and not enough derivative. Those things can happen. Or too active of an integral. So the integral could already be trying to push the idle down because it's a 1. That's a pretty significant size. The derivative could be it's isolating, or it's preventing the cycle from coming back up a little bit, or sorry, it's not doing enough to, how do I say it? So when the derivative sees a very fast rate of change, like it's moving down really quick, it goes, whoa, 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 we're going to add some duty cycle to slow down that ramp. So on the right side here, you look at the red, you see how steep this red is? The derivative here is going to add duty cycle. The steeper this is going down, it's going to add duty cycle to keep it from going too far. So if I add a bunch of derivative to it, like this, and I rev it, look at that. See that? See that slope is not nearly as steep as it was the last time I revved it? That's the derivative going, whoa, this slope is really steep. Let's pull some out of it. So let me do it again. I'll add even more to it now, and we'll see. That's slope. Oh, there you go. Now that it's getting too active, but that's anticipated. All right, so we're going to zero it back out again, and I'm going to show you that downward slope again. Look at that. That slope is pretty steep, and when we add derivative, it gets less steep, basically. Let's do this. Take some integral out of it. I think that's too much integral. I think it's pushing down. Take some portion out of it too. Like this. We'll see how that does. Too far. So that can be corrected again with either more derivative or more proportional, less integral. All those things will prevent, because if it's an integral windup, as in it's developing a lot of negative error, negative trim based on the error, it'll push it low. Whereas proportional will be, like I can crank proportional up. Again, we'll do it again. I think it's just not as sensitive as I thought it would be. Most systems are like way more sensitive than this. There you go, there's some oscillation. There's some proportional oscillation right there. Boy, it still is really good though. That's surprising. That's crazy. That's, if you look down below, you see the idle out. See how fast the numbers go up and down. Right now, we're just at basically a limit of the throttle blade to actuate. So it's calling me. Answers really quick. Oh, Dominic speaking. Hello. Okay. I called Haltech today. Actually, their support was really good today. Honestly, like I called them because I had an issue, and they were like instantly, let's log in to the computer and let's check some things out. And so they were very helpful. But you know, sometimes it's just really hit or miss with who you get. So okay, good. So I want to do this again. Now that I got this oscillation, see idle out the yellow graph over here, oscillating up and down. Let's see how we add derivative to that. I'm adding a bunch of derivative to it. You can see the difference in the way the idle control is, but there we go. Now we're in a situation where we get like a resonance between proportional and derivative here. It's just too much. It's too active. But what's funny is you can make things happen. Look at the short term, hundreds, right? It's based on that ramp. Obviously not going to work. Okay, take proportional back down. Take this back down to, let's go to something small. Get that idle out, steady out. There we go. Idle out here is steadying out. Our RPM is really good. Do a rev. Let's see how recovery is. Little dippy. Little dippy. So I'm going to take out some derivative there. The reason for that is when it goes to recover, it sees the upward ramp and it'll actually pull some out of it on the recovery. And I don't want to do that. Take some out. All right. And then what I'm going to do is go back to this guy. I'll make this 1.5. Make this 1 second. That's pretty good. I like that. We'll stick with that for now. I just want to show you guys some idle stuff while we were here. Can't see the yellow graph. Oh, yeah, my head's in the way. I'm big ass melon. Whee! There we go. It was doing this up and down a lot, so you just have to take my word for it, I guess. No, this is not. This one does not have EMAP. Wish it did, but it does not. Manifold pressure. That's it. All right, let's do some fuel tuning. First, got to calibrate the tach on the dyno. All right, so the dyno speed holds at 35 miles an hour, which is like my universal spot. We're going to get off the idle control page. We're going to go to the main tuning page. We're going to get to... there we go. Why is this one not working? All right, so right now I got a short term of 5 and a long term of 3 and change, which is about 8, which makes sense. There should be a little more right here in this region. Turn off long term. Turn off long term. I just want the short term. All right, so this spot's really good. Within 1% or so. Slowly building up a little bit as we move higher. It makes sense when you see that less. It's good. Huh. I'm going to look at this map calibration because the pressure seems off a smidge to me. Give it a second here. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to double check the map calibration on this because it seems a little weird to me. No, that's map. That is absolutely where we're at. We are definitely at that absolute pressure wise. Okay. Oh, I see what it was. I was thinking in gauge, and this table was definitely an absolute. Okay, that's all it was. We're good. That starts good. Fires right up. Hiccups. Had a big lunch. These spots again. Acceleration's a little too aggressive. See how much it dipped down during acceleration, and it wasn't the fuel map there that did it either. So I got to pull about the acceleration. Now these VEs don't look good to me. It doesn't look representative of what it should be. I'm not a fan of that. I shouldn't have 100% VE in vacuum. So that's a couple things, right? If I have too high of a VE, that means either my fuel pressure is less than I think it is, my injector settings need to be tweaked a bit, my charge temp calculation is off, it's imbalanced, my fuel density is incorrect, right? There's a handful of things that could cause this. The fact that I have to add this much fuel in a region where I should not have over 100% VE definitely should be addressed, I think. So I'm going to go in here and start from up here, engine configuration, fuel system. That's what I'm going to go. Okay, so that's off a tiny bit, um, but it's off in the direction that helps us. So if I put the actual flow of 1350 in there, it's going to get worse. So I got to keep looking. Fuel density might be a little high for our fuel here. Usually we're in like the low 30s, high 20s, sometimes even the teens. That would affect us. So if this was like 725, that would um, that would lengthen the injector pulse width as needed to uh, make it run richer or make it run the fuel density or fuel density mass that it should be running. Now this one here is just saying that this is our pump gas or whatever we're gas. Now this is going to have flex fuel on it. So it's going to have an ethanol content analyzer. When that happens, this needs to get changed to ethanol. I don't know what they call it here. Oh yeah, fuel comp. That's what they call it. That's right. Fuel composition. Or something like that. That was fuel comp. The fuck? Like seriously? Oh, you stupid. Gradient. Fuel. Oh, you know what? It's probably not here because I don't have the sensor enabled. Be my guess. My guess is that's what they did. I don't have the fuel system set up for a flex fuel and add an ethanol content analyzer in here. Yeah, right there. So once I put that in there, It's not wired in right now, so obviously nothing's gonna work. I'm not sure what's actually on right now. It's on something that's all over the place. So let's see if that works. That brings up what I want to bring up. Fuel composition. There it is. Or flex fuel comp. Both. Okay. So whatever. We'll do either one. The sensor. Now, the wizard in this one is really bad. I don't know why they even bothered. This wizard is so bad. Good 10 is my start value. I'm going to be like, dude, this is not how it works. There we go. I'm going to insert a value of 0. There we go. That kind of works. So with this, then you would do, if you had, you know, 845 or something like that based on ethanol. Depends on what ethanol you get as to what your composition is going to be. And then that's what you're going to see. As ethanol goes up, then the fuel gets heavier, which is what you'd expect. And that's how you do that. But also, your stoichiometric ratio changes. And you got to do that as well. Otherwise, it's let's see. But we don't have one of these, so let's turn that off. I could have done with the screen. I saw it too late. You don't have one. That's right. Still set here, so it's good. Works for me. Anyways, hey Damon. Oh, this is my AC's on. That's weird. It's definitely not. Let's turn that off. I don't mess with stuff. There we go. That's why it was being so funny earlier. Took too much out of it. All right, back to what we were doing before. Back to my VE. I don't like that. I don't like that it wants 110 VE. Where did my fuel pressure go? No injectors. It's not there. Fuel system. It's not there. I thought I just saw it a minute ago. Fuel pressure. I don't have fuel pressure on this, so it shouldn't matter too much. It is map referenced. This might have. How much is fuel pressure? I'll check that. 'Cause that seems weird. Lane, this thing not have a blow off valve on it?
That turbo is a sushi one.
Where's the valve at? In the bumper? And it's plugged in? I hear a high pitched whine. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. Something's going woo, like it's a vacuum leak or alternator or something like that. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, but
Yeah, there's the bypass valve in it's like
oh, okay.
it's like down by the water.
What kind of valve is it? What spring pressure's in it? Okay. Okay, the fuel pressure was 42. I looked at it. 42 with the line off. So that's really close. That doesn't matter. It's not going to kill it. It's just a little off. I do want to hit this real quick though. Turn this down. See if that helps any of accelerate. Oh, it's a lot better. It's a little lean now. You hear it? What was that? Oh, did you unplug it? Oh, okay.
It did change when the throttle tried to catch the bolt. So it's a vacuum leak.
Which sounds like a vacuum leak.
As soon as you get on, as soon as the vacuum goes to
Less.
close to zero, it stops.
Yeah. So where's that fucking leak at? You got some cleaner? Right there? Bring that bottle? Yeah, it's in there somewhere. It got really rich when you sprayed over there.
Really?
Yep.
It did?
Yeah.
That's where it sounds like it's going. The other one has fluid, but no pressure.
Right.
Rarely you can air it back up. You know that?
Oh, what?
You take a rubber tip air nozzle, you stick it over top, and air it back up.
That makes sense.
I watched it on a fucking TikTok. I'm like, God damn it. Now they can up thrown away.
Right? Oh, yeah. All those places. The whole manifold? The phenolic spacers that I love so much?
Yeah.
There's gaskets top and bottom?
Yep.
Did you use longer bolts?
Mm-hmm.
How much torque is on them?
I don't know. They must have came loose in the heat though.
Maybe.
Because I sprayed the other one, and it fixes the squeal because of the water tight seal.
Yeah.
And then the end goes.
Oh, I
and then
felt
I
it.
can watch it go. goes sucked away, and then it squeals again. I was like, oh.
Oh, let's tighten these bolts again. See what we got. That's a good time to tighten it. It's a good time to tighten it. So the whistle I heard was a vacuum leak. Still trying to figure out why it's so far off. This thing supposedly has 1300s in it, but it wants another 12 to 18% VE at atmospheric to bring it to 120 VE almost. No, no, that doesn't seem right.
I got a lot out of the front one.
Yeah. Maybe these are X's versus X2s, and they have different different latencies. Let's compare the two latencies. I don't know if these are X's or X2s. I'm opening up the documents from ID. Oh, this is it's way more. No, I wouldn't say way more. 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. What the fuck kind of axes are those? That is some bullshit right there. Why'd you do even? Oh, let's toss in an odd in there and toss in another odd in there. There we go. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, there we go. Okay. That was silly. All right. So according to this Excel spreadsheet from ID, at 14, I should have 1.019.
I get the middle bolt, and it's loose enough I can turn it like this.
You can't get to it?
That's the only way you can get to this thing. I think I did it with like a sawed-off handle.
And now it's loose because the phenolic spacers are moving around. 1.241. And it's 1.593. It's close. 8 is 2.229. Not that we were down there at all. And 6 is 3066. All right, so this will add a little bit of fuel in those cruise areas. That should help with the VE a smidge, but not a lot. I mean, point something milliseconds is all we added to that. And that was at a. Did you even put that one in? These guys give me a hard time that the fucking car doesn't run super good. The intake manifold ain't bolted on all the way. Is that stripped out?
Yeah, that's no longer wall.
Anton, you were yeah, but that's not gonna help. That's gonna make it worse. It's gonna shorten up the pulse width and make it need even more. That's what I was saying earlier, that it wasn't right, but it would make it worse, whatever I'm doing. Because then for the same fuel, it's gonna shorten the pulse width, and that's not what I need. I need the other way around. But you did the fuel density tests, right? What was the pump gas density up here? It was like 720 something, wasn't it? At 10%. This is gonna indicate 0, but that's because we don't have a sensor in it.
So that's our thread engagement.
What is?
That is.
I thought you said use longer bolts.
Got it.
Hmm. Well, look for some. Did it pull out of the head, or did it just not grab?
No, I didn't know. It felt a little squishy, and I was like,
Oh,
I
okay.
pulled it out of it. I was like, oh.
Not even the head. Yeah. What the fuck? That is definitely not my table. I definitely not have done that. Well, it caused a little bit of the issue. But it was definitely not at all the way that I would fucking do this table. I would 12%, but then 18. 714 at 50. Oh, okay. And I'm definitely at 50 right now. It's low on fuel. It's hot as fuck today. So it is definitely at that 710 area, which would make more sense. Which is what I was thinking, it was going to be something like that. Wrong one. And when the ethanol sensor gets in here, and we'll be able to add fuel temp, that'll be awesome. Why is fuel temperature not a thing? Because I don't have the sensor in here, right? But this car has a fuel temp sensor. I don't know if it's hooked up to this Haltech or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Clutch, dry wire, intake gear, coolant temp, manifold pressure. Yeah, it's all the inputs we got there. Okay. Outputs see request, which isn't working. Okay, available 10. Okay, 10's available. Maybe look at the diagram, see if I can do anything. 2 sync pulse inputs and a bunch of outputs. All right, so that's it. So I got AV10 available. Let's see this diagram. Okay, so what's going on here? That's the page? No, it's all in here. Oh, yuck. Okay. That's just all there is. All right, AVI 10 is the cruise command switch. Oh, handy. Okay. Cruise control. Super duper. All right, this is. Does this have the cruise lights hooked up to it? Couldn't imagine it would. I mean, it has hardly any available inputs and outputs on this thing. That's the thing that sucks. 2500. It's a 2-plug ECU. There's like no features. There's not enough features for this car. Like a Legacy GT with cameras should not have a Haltech 2500. There's not enough stuff. You need like expansion harnesses and boxes and shit to get close to using half of the stuff that the factory ECU uses. You're just forced to ignore a bunch of stuff. It really sucks. Cruise command switch. That's all there is. I don't think there's a light output on here. Yeah, I don't think it's even out here. I don't see any lights. So, nope. Okay, so let's ground 3 resistors. Let's try this now. Nice. Okay, so the cruise on-off button doesn't do anything. But this one does, and this one does. So excel, decel, and that. Okay. Active output? We don't have active outputs. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, sure. Okay, so what's my current voltage? My current voltage in the rest position, which is right now, is 3.97. So I need to be higher than 3.97. Button 2, the one that's 0 volts is technically this one. Oh, that's enable disable. Yeah, that works. Set coast is this guy. That one. Don't know why it gave me that error. Oh, goes button. Oh, I'm not there yet. Okay, resume Excel. That's this one. Okay. Cancel is this one. That overlaps the other one. This guy. So do I get rid of the cancel and only have it be enable disable? This is what I gotta do. So this cancel enable disables it. The rest is at that voltage. Set is that one. Resume is that one. There we go. So that should do it. Should be can output, right? I think it's can. I think I enabled this can too, honestly. I mean, I know it's got both. But that's fine. Let's do that. That's how you want to be. That's how you want to be. Try it again.
It's gonna be a
How's it going to cut? It was fine disabled. I was fine with it being disabled. Okay. Then I wanted the output to be via CAN, so I'm pretty sure it's via CAN, and that just pissed it off. Vehicle CAN bus is saying is disabled, but it's obviously not a disabled device because the vehicle CAN is functional. Main connectors, yep. OBD is not enabled, but it's disabled. Just want to do that again real quick. Should be disabled. Let's do this real quick, see what pisses it off, and I'll go back to the 3OR. I think that's what that is. That vehicle CAN bus still says it's disabled. Does it? Oh, it doesn't. What's the error then? It's still in the wiring. Where? Where's the error? Oh. Well, that is just insanely annoying. Yeah, I know. Like you use all 16 outs, but you're also using all the inputs too on your KV8, and then you got 4 plugs, and this thing has 2 plugs. And yeah, this is on pump gas. There's no ethanol in this at all. It's just straight pump gas. It's actually 91 octane too. I didn't get 92. I wanted to get 91 octane so that the tune was even more conservative. If I tune the NOx system for that, then when they get it, it should be like. Looks like I selected the wrong one. Oh my lord, why does this stuff do this to me? Come on, try it again. Thank you. It's weird that it wants WRX for the CAN bus. I like it. What else could I do? Probably not G4. I had to guess. That probably piss it off. Tag, aside, channel, fuel consumption, brake pedal switch, boost gauge, air conditioner request. But that should be on the wiring, right? AC relay. AC request. There we go. AC request is SPI2. Let's see if that's right. Nope, it's on SPI4. What's 4 in this harness? 4 is nothing. So AC request SPI2. All right, let's change that. Right there. Okay, relay output is ignition 6. So DPO3. DPO3 is wastegate solenoid. Well, that ain't gonna work. This is ignition 6. Okay. Boost control wiring. Wastegate solenoid is DPO3. You. Okay, what else we got? Five is fuel pump. It should be working. ABI 1 clutch switch. I don't think that's true. Oh, that's right. Oh, your clutch switch ABI 1. Cool. Drive by wire. Yep, that definitely works. Yeah. 4 and 5. Okay. 6. Brake switch. Yeah. 7. B3. Yeah. B4. Yeah. A15. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Cruise control. That works. DPO2 cruise is not that. DPO2 is check engine light, and DPO4 is secondary air pump relay. Okay. I don't have a fuel pump relay on this. I don't think this has 2 pumps. Lane! There we go.
I had to make my own 12 mil pro slip,
Nice.
but I did it.
This doesn't have two fuel pumps, does it? It's the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as far as I know.
Fuel fire. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Okay. I know the cams work. Right hand is one. Yeah.
All I had is a hard one's done.
Yay.
Just doesn't have proper tools.
Okay, that works now. That's cool. All right, we're good. So just double check one last thing. DPO4. Secondary air pump relay. SPI3, which is B10. Neutral switch. Oh, we can do that.
Truck guys here, just so you know. They showed up.
Cool. That's 3, right? Yep. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I gotta take the bolts out of the back, one that has the ground on it.
Oh, okay. I'm like, everything's freaking out in here. What's going on?
Not the problem.
Usually is. DPO2 cell. Is that on there? I'm disconnected now, so I think it's not going to make a difference. I just want to see. I set it. Yep. Okay, cool. So everything's finally good. Woo. I bet that makes a difference. It is hot as a motherfucker in here. Oh, clever. Cobb sent me an email. Back to school special. Yuck, 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 yuck. Back to school. Hardy, hardy, hard. Oh, that's funny. I wish I could show you guys what I was laughing at. I want to get back to this. He's got to tighten that manifold down. One side. Well, fuck. I need to adjust the transmission on a truck.
I believe this is the more difficult side.
What'd you do? Longer bolts? Are they working?
Yeah, the one that had an Allen in it. The one that had an Allen, fuel rail bolt like overlapped it like 100%. I needed a crow's foot. I only had a half inch 13, 7/16 of 11. They had 12 mil. So I cut my 11 mil, just shaved it in the band saw so fit on a 12 mil bolt, and then
Nice.
I'm torquing them up because they're probably already compromised, so I don't want to like overwork them. So
Okay.
torquing all the 24.
Sweet.
And they're all torqued up hard. Like, I didn't trim them out, but I think after this, it didn't have the thread engagement to stay tight. What happens is especially with the all the spaces in there being screwy,
Yeah.
just work themselves. But they're all super loose because they all put it together.
Right.
They clearly come loose over time.
Makes sense.
Now that you're playing that paint condition,
Man, a lot of stuff. Surprised it ran as good as it did.
yeah, it was like super loose.
Well, we heard it whistling.
Yeah.
Well, I'm supposed to be a lot further in this than I am. I'm supposed to adjust the transmission on a truck at 2, which is now. It's a Turbo LS Silverado 1500. It's like an 03 or something like that. I forget what year it is. Made like 600 wheel on this dyno. Stock 5.3 with a tiny Borg Warner on it. Spooled really fast. So I'm sure it burns out pretty easily. But I asked him at the beginning of the tune if the training was good, and he said, yeah, it was great. I was like, sweet, well, I don't got to fuck with it. But what occurred to me later was that, well, he didn't punch it. So he never got full throttle with it. He just cruised it around, and it was great cruising around. Once we get done with the tune and he drove it, he's like, it's not shifting, it just hangs. I got to shift it manually. And I was like, okay. So we'll adjust that. On the dyno, I shift it manually anyways, so I didn't pick it up. So my bad. It's got a Holly something in it. Hey man, how you doing? Yep. Good man, how you doing? Yeah, it was you too. Yeah. Yeah. How you been? Did you get that cable? Sweet. Sweet. That'll be a lot easier. Yeah, if you guys want to do that, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I can stop this to do your thing, but if you want to get something to eat and drink, then do that, and I'll just. Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. So I can make a little progress on this. Oh yeah. Yeah. Not bad. Cool. Thank you. Lane is putting in longer intake manifold bolts on this thing so that it gets a better clamp on the phenolic spacers that are on it. Now, I hate phenolic spacers, but the only reason they had to put them on here was because the turbo kit that was on this car wouldn't fit because the AMS intake was in the way, so they had to pick the manifold up. Now, what sucks about that is injector angle is wrong when you throw phenolic spacers on these things, and I seriously dislike that, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. It definitely hurts tip-in. Tip-in is a little difficult on this car because the fuel injectors aren't spraying on the back of the valve anymore. They're spraying on the port wall. And that massively affects how good the atomization of the fuel. Sorry, I was watching him torque this. Made me nervous. Is that gonna work? Look like it's stripped. So is that gonna work? Is it gonna work? Is it going to work? Okay. Gotcha. I mean, 16 ain't bad. Anyway, so when the injector sprays on the port wall, instead of the fuel going down, hitting the hot valve, or going through an open valve into the chamber and atomizing really well, or being close to turbulent air as it goes through the valve, the fuel bounces off the port wall. And I mean, if you've ever peed on the side of a building before too close and seeing where your pee goes after that, it can sometimes be a bad deal the way it splashes back. And so it's going to hit the wall. A bunch of it's going to stick. Some of it's going to cool and stick to the wall. Some of it's going to come off in bigger droplets. It's going to hit it as a mist and come off in bigger drops. So you're actually going to have worse atomization than you would otherwise because the fuels will collect and pool up and come off the wall. So it creates really shitty tip-in characteristics, especially when the airflow is really low, so the airspeed in the port is really low, and that um, with low airspeed, you don't wake fuel off the walls or anything. I was getting nervous. I saw that thing was fucking spinning in his hand. There he goes. I see torque now. Okay. I guess I had a lot more threads to go than I thought. He's just wrenching away, wrench, 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 wrench. I'm like, let's just keep going. It just keeps going. Oh, crap. If I'm bored, I know you are. I've been working on some jokes for my stand-up routine that I'll never do, and they're based on true stories, loosely. Let's see. All right, so this is a wife joke. Before I make this wife joke, I need to clarify. My wife is awesome and she's not fat. But so my wife, she always eats on small plates. She doesn't get the full size plate. Right? She eats a small plate and she'll go back for seconds or thirds. I'm like, bitch, don't matter how small your fucking plate is. If you keep going back for seconds or thirds, you're still gonna be fucking fat. Right? And it drives me crazy. And then she uses these little tiny spoons. Little spoons like baby spoons. And I'm like, it's not changing how much you're eating. It's still a fucking tiny spoon, but you're still eating the same amount. So I don't know what she's thinking is going to happen if she uses a teeny tiny spoon. Really though, it's probably my fault. She's probably doing it for me. Now that I think about it, got such a little dick. She's just trying to keep it all tight for me. Did you get it? That was not safe for work. Got to work on the delivery a little bit, but the joke's there.
My hands are full. If you
The
want
joke's
to,
there. I think it'll work.
move that hook
Okay.
But all the bolts are good.
Cool. Does it whistle? All right. Let's see what we got. Back up. Back up. Oh yeah, I changed the can system. I'm like, wait a second, what's going on? I forgot to put it on G4. It's not. Jesus Christ. Did it again? G3. Hey, we are back to it. I think I gotta reset the car though. There's kind of a can error because I had it stuck on G4 still. There we go. Coolant temp works again. All right, check engine light is on. La, 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 la. What do you got? Yep, that's fine. Clear that one. These shouldn't cause a check engine, right? The light is still in. So, like this. There we go. All right, screen lights out. Fuel temp works. TAC works. SI drive is no longer flashing. Everything's working. All right, we're good there. Mopper gallon gauge works. Boy, that wideband's going crazy, ain't it? Like cam. And number 2 cam's fucking me every time. Got it. Number 1's fine. Number 2, it's always screwed up. All right, well, it's still screwed up. What's going on here? It's not my derivative. No, it's not. I gotta fix the solenoid. M2 solenoid's not happy. Oh, hey. Really surprised. I made it Haltech. Haltech fueling is weird. So I can't be that surprised. Perfect. All right, so engine position error is going to be cam sensors and all of that, and then I'm going to have the issue of the boost control right there being more wonky. Spike ability shoots out 100%. That's a good idea. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. I didn't set the space map up. I should have go through every damn thing. It's only 13 pounds. That's good. It's a long delay. I don't like that delay. Too long. Okay. That's real low. The fuck is that deal? No, I definitely don't want that. Yeah. Oops. What's that AC? Ooh. Car slowed down. Ugh. Well, I can definitely have zero below 8 because there's none of that going on. I'm also not going to be targeting 45 pounds of boost on this thing, so get rid of that. Now, in position error means typically, like I said, cam sensor, crank sensor. So we're going to go to the trigger section and we're going to look at that. There's a few things we can do that kind of let people understand that you can do with that. So we'll go to triggers here and we'll look what we have for our sync. We have no we have no filter. A little filter on that. Sync mode always. We don't want always. Okay? We don't want always. We want it like up to like 4,500 or so. Uh, yeah, whatever. I don't care about that one. You're on the throttle position on it. All right, let's see what line I blow off this damn thing. Oh, what's up, dude? Dyno film? What's up? I'm a dyno. Yeah. Okay. AC works. Fucking A, Bubba. I felt that. Oh, didn't work. Oh, it is hot as shit nuggets out here. I'll turn off this pole though. Hey, that was way better. That was way better. What we got? So map is falling at the end there. It's fine. I got 0% wastegate duty cycle on this thing. That's what we got. And it cuts right here at the end. The rev limiter. Got pretty smooth with the rev limiter. Actually, I was surprised how smooth it was. £9? That's all it makes on the gate? Okay. I'm cool with that. Let me double check the dyno agrees with that. Yep. Dyno agrees. Said they got the 10 on the dyno here. AFRs are 12 flat on the wideband on the dyno, and that pretty much concurs with this because this was 8.2 pretty much the whole run. 0.82, which is right here. Oh, that's there we go in this area. So I want to add a little more fuel to that though. I don't, it's not quite as much fuel as I'd like. of fuel on it, like that. Come on. When you double click this, it's supposed to bring it to a new fucking graph. Double click this one, it's supposed to add to it. It's not doing that. Alright, 9.3 pounds of boost, 16 degrees of timing, 22 degrees of timing, 7 pounds of boost. Alright, that's good. Happy with that. I should break in them all. I forgot how to close the log. Hey, are we still logging? Why are we still logging? Shouldn't be logging. I hit stop. I wonder if it's got auto logging set up and it's some parameter. Throttle position, yeah, there it is. Yeah, it works when I'm not throttling anymore. Alright, cool. Auto control's being a little hunty right now. Target says 910. Okay. Let's see if we got the extra fuel that I wanted to get. Nailed it. Really nailed it. Look at that. Only 1% off of the trim, or off target. 6th ahead at the very top. So we'll add some DE up top, but everywhere else it was dead nuts. Up here, oh yeah, there's a drop DE right there. Oh, well, that was it right there. Hold on. So let's do that. Beautiful. Perfect. Wow, on 10 pounds of boost, it's making as much as a stage 2 STI. I think it's going to rip. A little zoner rotor on this thing. I think it's going to rip. This real quick and see how that behaves. That was my output before. Set it all at 0, so let's see if it stayed 0. If I close loop, try to add 10% to it now. Boost control, closed loop phase output. Okay. Cool. Okay, so 15% is not enough. There's a toe point at which you get nothing, 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 then you get something. Usually it's around 15%. It looks like we got 0 at 15. So I'm not seeing the fuel make it to the tailpipe. The log says it's there. That's odd. 8.1. I said 7.9. Okay, so I'm pretty close. Hmm. Weird. I feel like the integral is high enough. It should be doing something more than it's doing. Okay, let's see if that's enough to get us up there a little bit. All right, misfires. 10 pounds of boost. Misfired. You would think it's a rich misfire, but it definitely wasn't. So that's not a good sign. Got a cracked plug or something. Let's check sugar dwell. 2.8. That's plenty to dwell. Okay. That's a shame. We got a little more boost though. We got a tiny bit more boost. 25%. So we hit that point, that threshold, and we started misfiring really bad. So bad coil, bad connection, something like that. Good there. That could also be engine out of position, actually. Yeah, into this error. Oh, I hear again. It's got good compression. It's just got a bad signal. All right, guess we gotta work on that. Of course we do. So now I'm talking about an engine with a big black plug, and the black plugs are always problematic. So cam or crank or something like that on there. Dude, why is this fucking software so bad? I mean, look at this. I'm scrolled all the way to the bottom, but there's stuff below it. Like, what the fuck? Can I not get down there? Hello? There's stuff down there. Oh, why does it say 0? All right, bro. Wait, Suzuki? What the fuck happened? This is irritating. Still can't get down there. Oh, I must have been clicking down to try and get down there. I'm still missing a cylinder. Oh, fucker. What do you mean? Sounds great. So it's a coil pack issue, probably. All right, well, now to go work on the coil packs. Hey, Travis. I don't know how. I wish there was timestamps on this chat so I can see when you guys made it. I have no idea how long ago it was you said, hey, dude. But anyways, I'm going to go work on, see if the coil pack's unplugged or a spark plug's bad and cracked or it's got old coil pack or what. But definitely something's causing it to miss. Oh, okay, that's good. Um, this one started off a little weird, but it got better until just now. Got in a little bit of boost and it dumped the cylinder at 10 pounds of boost. It sounded like it was a rich misfire, but it wasn't rich. So I'm thinking just weak spark. It's a fucking 20-something-year-old car, basically. I guess not that old yet. What is this, 07, 08? So 15-year-old car or so. Click the three dots, then click show timestamp. I have no options for that. No options. And click inspect. That's it. Oh, three dots at the top next to message. There it is. Toggle timestamps. Alright. Gotcha. That's cool. It's just you and I, apparently. I don't think anybody was here for my dick joke. I gotta work on the delivery, but the joke's there. I got a text message. Oh, it's you. Are you in OBS? What are you watching this on? I'm on OBS. So you must use the YouTube app. Gotcha. I'm not using the YouTube app. I'm using uh, the OBS system, which I would assume it just pulls the chat from YouTube. But the control is an OBS control. But it does happen to have toggle timestamps on it, so I wonder how they must port that out or something. Anyways, I'm going to stop the stream. I'm hot as balls. I got to go and tune this truck, transmission, and then I got to tell these guys to pull some plugs out and see what's going on with this thing. So I'm gonna call it quits because I'm tired and I keep talking and talking and talking and my voice gets hoarse and everything. So I'm going to go and appreciate you stopping by, even though it was only for a few seconds. And feel free to come see me. It's not as hot here as over there, at least. Um, yeah. Oh, and this is a legacy too. So you like legacies, and this is a legacy GT. It made 280 wheel on 9 point something pounds of boost, peak, and 7 at redline. So it should be a good time once we get everything all squared away on it. It's yeah. Anyways, dude, love you. Hope things are good. Thanks for stopping by.